Thanks for joining us for another Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover, Fantasy Game Day, Sunday Stars, 10-minute tip show as we gear up for Week 11 in the NFL. We give you our top tips for the UK's best, fastest growing NFL daily fantasy platform, and you should join and come and take part in the fun that is Fantasy Game Day. Constantly launching new games, offering lineups at prices, whether you are new or a beginner in daily fantasy or an expert and a high roller. Use promo code COVER when you sign up. Go download the app from the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, wherever you get your apps from. And use promo code COVER. You'll get yourself a free entry after your first play to the value of £7.50 straight in your account. In credit, use it as and when you please. Got to be 18 years or over, UK only. And of course, please gamble responsibly. Let's just get straight into it then. Let's check our quarterback tips. I'll start this week. I feel so bad. I should have gone for Jameis, but stepping in, spot starting for the Giants this week. But I've gone for Davis Mills. He's in again in relief for CJ Stroud, who's out with a concussion again. The Texans have the Tennessee Titans in a game where they've got a real good opportunity to get back to 500. They are a big favorite, and while the points total is low, I'm expecting the Houston Texans to take care of business. Davis Mills scored you just short of 23 points last week in that huge fourth quarter comeback, and the majority of the passes were completed were to Nico Collins. I think he could have a big game and help Davis Mills rack up a lot of points. So I'm going to go Davis Mills at 4,800 on the road at the Tennessee Titans. Just more cheap play to enable you to spend more money elsewhere. Byron, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I've gone for an expensive one at quarterback. Normally don't, truthfully, but I've gone Justin Herbert, 8,400, the fourth most expensive quarterback on the slate. And the Jags are just a funnel for quarterback points. In the last 4 games, they've given up 9.6 points more than quarterbacks are scoring on average. That's just slightly better than their season average, which is plus 4.5. But yeah, the last 4 weeks, 9.6. They're really falling off. After a good start to the season, I think Jags are kind of in a little bit of free fall, truthfully. So I think Justin Herbert, between his running and his passing, I think can get you a top point score this week at 8,400. Any better at that price?
Joe?
Yeah, I've gone Brock Purdy, the chosen one, has returned for the 49ers. And yeah, they're playing the Cardinals. He's 4-1 against Cardinals in his career, and I think the 49ers are going to win this game. The Cardinals defense is a pretty good defense, but 6,200, you're not going cheap like Davis Mills, but you're not blowing the bank as well. And obviously him starting, I think having Ricky Pearsall back, them two worked a lot over the summer. It was definitely his target. He's now got, Kittle, Pearsall, Jennings, he's got all his crew back. So I think it's going to be, points for Purdy. And I think he could get a few rushing points as well. So I think it's going to be a big game for Brock on his return, because he will want to prove that Mac is not the starter like Dan Aleskis mentioned, which we talked about last week.
Yeah, excellent. We'll see if Brock comes back with a bang. Let's move over to our wide running. Joe, you changed the order on me. We can do. Yeah, no. What are we doing? Wide receiver. We've only got 10 minutes. Wide receiver. You got me all out of rhythm there. Joe, you carry on after messing me up there.
Yeah, I do apologise. It's the same game. I've got Michael Wilson at £3,000. Obviously, it's a very cheap option, but he is then probably the number one wide receiver. Obviously, McBride will be the number one target. He's 6,000 for a tight end, which is quite a lot, a big distance between second tight end. But I've got Michael Wilson at 3,000. Every game he keeps getting more and more targets. He's getting around 50 yards most games. And the 49ers, surprising when you actually look at their defense, for passing defense, they're the 7th worst in yards. And they're the 6th worst in touchdowns too. So it's not like they shut down teams in the air. So I think Michael Wilson could be a good cheap option to pick up the points and be able to build around it and maybe have a Trey McBride double up there.
Excellent. I'll jump in next. Give me Jamar Chase, 8,400. Yeah, it is very, very expensive, but I've only spent a little bit on Davis Mills. So that's where we freed up my money from. Pittsburgh Steelers, I can't believe we're saying this after 11 weeks. Pittsburgh Steelers are giving up the most yards per game passing in the NFL. 30 seconds. Their passing defense stinks. Joe Flacco lit them up 3 weeks ago, on a Thursday night. I think they're going to do it again. Jamar Chase had 16 receptions in that game for a touchdown. It might not be as crazy as that, but I mean, this is Flacco's last dance potentially with Joe Burrow coming back from injury soon. Yeah, he's just going to launch it to Chase in. I just don't see how the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to stop it. Big game for Chase. And it's high. It's 48.5 points over under as well. So there's an expectation for points. So, yeah, I just think Chase is going to light him up again. Byron.
Hello. Yes. I've gone Rome Odunze at 5,600. He's wide receiver 16 on the season. He's wide receiver 14 in pricing just on this slate. So I think that's a pretty nice matchup in itself. However, in the last 5 games, there is no team giving up more points to the wide receiver. So the wide receiver is out wide. Than the Minnesota Vikings. Over average to what players are normally scoring in the last 5. The Vikings are adding 9.2 points per game. If you add that to Rome Odunze, he's a wide receiver 1 in fantasy football. So I think there's a big opportunity for him to really explode this week. He's a number 1 target on first reads for Caleb Williams, as he's been all season. And he also has the best A-dot average depth of target for Chicago wide receivers, of receivers that have had like more than 50 routes this season. So basically everyone is a full-time player. That all leads to me to thinking that he's going to go off this week. So yeah, 5,600, wide receiver 14 price, and I think that's a real nice price.
What a great bit of analysis there and insight. That was Byron. Tremendous stuff. Tremendous stuff. Cool. Let's move on to our running back to tight ends. Yeah, Byron, do you want to carry on? You're on a roll.
Yeah, I have some more. What I think is good analysis here as well. So I have gone for Terrence Ferguson, the rookie tight end for the Rams versus Seattle, which is the game I think it's going to be points. 2,200 minimum pricing for a tight end. We talked in our preview about the Rams' usage of 13 personnel, so 3 tight ends on the field at a time. Tyler Higbee in the last 4 weeks ranks 8th in targets per route run in the league. Despite this, his high usage, Terrence Ferguson kills him in win rate and yards per route run. Ferguson ranks 2nd on the Rams in separation score versus cover 3, which is the Seahawks' most common coverage. I think this is going to be a breakout week for him. Stafford's been trusting more and more. He's a real vertical threat. I think he can get in the end zone at least once this week. At 2,200 stone bottom pricing for a tight end, I think Ferguson is a must smash into your lineup play.
Excellent. Yeah, great stuff. Joe?
Yeah, still this one a little bit from Byron because he originally put Sean Tucker in his wide receiver. So I still instead at 2,200. He's one of the cheapest players available at running back, and I think his role with the Tampa Bay is just getting higher and higher. The last 2 games, he got 12 touches against the Saints and 9 touches rushing against the Patriots, getting 53 yards. So I think he's going to, and I guess this Bills team, I think he's going to get a lot of carries. The Bills are the 3rd worst rushing defense when you look at yards per game, and the 2nd worst in touchdowns per game as well. So I think this could be where the Bucs try to also mix it up big with, especially with the injuries at wide receiver. And I think Sean Tucker could again have another dozen touches. And if you want to go for a Chase or someone like that to go alongside, you need your cheap players. So 2,200 for a starting 50-50 running back. It's it's a great price.
Can I chuck in one little last bit as well, Joe, just to support you? Because like you said, I did pick this one in the first place because I got confused and didn't pick a wide receiver. The Bills, against receiving running backs, give up 3.8 points per game less than their average. Against rushing running backs, which is Sean Tucker's role, he doesn't catch the ball, 5.4 points per game over. So this is a Sean Tucker smash start for me as well.
Excellent. Good bit of analysis. I'll finish off with not great analysis. So on the face of it, this might look like a not necessarily great matchup for the Chargers running game against the Jaguars. Jaguars are only giving up 92 yards a game on the ground, but that's because teams find it really easy to pass against them. I think the Chargers, with the offensive line issues that they've got and just injuries, actually you want those offensive linemen moving forward, run blocking more than you do pass protecting. So I like Vidal. He's had a couple of big games so far, and he's again main starting running back. I think it's 5,200. I think he can get you to 100 yards and at least a touchdown. So I think at that price, pretty good, somewhere in the 20-point range. So yeah, I like Kamani Vidal in this one. Excellent. Right. That is our 10 Fantasy Game Day Sunday Stars, 10-minute tips, bang on 10 minutes. We're getting good at this. Just a reminder, go and join the UK's best NFL daily fantasy platform, Fantasy Game Day. Go download the app now from your Google Play Store, Apple App Store, wherever you get your apps from. Sign up using promo code COVER, all in capital letters. You'll receive a free entry after your first play. You'll get 750 credit to your account. Look out for the new Triple Crown game that's dropped on Fantasy Game Day. Just pick one of three quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and if you get the 3 top performers, you win yourself a cash prize. So check out that as well, plus all the other formats. Got to be in the UK, must be 18 years or over, and of course, please gamble responsibly. Follow us, Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Overcast, YouTube for the pod, and then also all our posts, all our updates, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And we'll see you on Monday for our NFL Week 11 review.